Saturday, April the 9th, 2022. This is Wes Fryer, and I have not done a cooking video in a while, and I was actually talking to my students this week about that. And anyway, these steaks are so amazing. I decided I just have to do a video. So thanks to my wonderful advisory students, I got a gift card for it's actually Amazon, but you can use it to shop at Whole Foods and pick up food. And so I got some amazing sirloins that I just picked up, and some Brussels sprouts and some tomatoes for our salad. And so I thought I would just show how I'm going to cook this. I'm actually, these steaks are so thick, I'm gonna actually need to cook these on the RecTeq pellet grill, indirect. I could do it indirect on charcoal, I know, but anyway, I've got to do my Brussels sprouts on the RecTeq anyway, so I'm gonna do them both, and then I'm just gonna put them on my charcoal to sear. Do I have to do that? No. Is it gonna be amazing? Yes. So here, let me show you what I'm gonna be cooking. All right, so do these steaks look amazing or what? These are, I think they're just sirloins, aren't they? Yeah, these are boneless New York strip steaks. Okay, there you go, $17 a pound. That's a little more than we normally, afford around here. So that is super, super awesome. And if I had more time, I would have dry brined them overnight, salting them with some kosher salt, let them set up overnight. But just as a binder, I just sprayed on a little virgin olive oil today. And then I'm just using my old Montreal steak seasoning. This has been a go-to for me for a long time, and I just love it. So over here, let me set this up on the tripod. So I need to get these on the grill as soon as possible. These are my Brussels sprouts, not anything super fancy. I have shared the recipe for these before on my food blog, which, by the way, you can find at food.wesfryer.com. And I'm out of Traeger seasoning. Traeger used to have at Costco these really, really big bottles of their just called Traeger seasoning, and it is just garlic powder and chili pepper, I think. And man, it is really great. We have been cutting out quite a bit of salt and sugar out of our diet, and so a tablespoon of olive oil and Traeger seasoning on the Brussels sprouts has been fantastic. But recently, since I've been out of the Traeger seasoning, a few little guys here, we need to trim off. Okay. What I've been using is this. This is the Meat Church Gospel All-Purpose Rub. And man, it is just fantastic. So usually just a tablespoon of olive oil is good. I've been going with the smooth extra virgin olive oil. It's supposed to be better for sauteing. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, just go ahead and do a generous tablespoon there. And I usually do 2 rounds of seasoning, but usually 1 tablespoon of the olive oil is good enough. And so I'm just going to stir this up. I like to cook this in my cast iron skillet on my RecTeq pellet smoker. I've got it preheating out there at 400 degrees. And this will be done at 45 minutes. I've definitely cooked this for an hour. They just get a little bit more crispy. If I can, I like to turn these about halfway through the cook, just with the spatula, like I'm doing now. So let's season those up, and man, these are going to be just absolutely amazing. So got the old cast irons. Was actually my wife's grandmother's, I think. So got some good cooking heritage here. Love to cook with this pan. And this is it. I just leave it uncovered like this, and I'm going to go out and set it on the grill. So let's go out there and put it on the grill. All right, so nothing fancy here, just preheating. Well, we're up to 395. So I'm just going to set this here at the end, and then we're going to put the steaks on here in a minute. And oh my gosh, these are going to be so good. All right, so now we have the steaks. It's looking great or what? And I'm just going to put these on. But I'm going to thread my this one. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in as probe A. So we're going to be monitoring the temperature there. And that. Oh man, those are going to be awesome. Alright. So, we're going to monitor that. We're going to basically cook that to about 140. So that's saying we're at about 45 degrees. So let's see how we do on time. I'm going to start a timer, and we'll actually need to start the charcoal over here. All right, so I love to cook my steaks over charcoal, but part of the reason I'm doing this tonight is just because I'm taking advantage of the thermometer on the RecTeq that'll measure my internal temperature. I don't know, I do have a wireless one or whatever. I've got to be cooking on the RecTeq anyway for my Brussel Sprouts. So anyway, I'm doing my indirect portion of the cook over there. I could do my whole steak cook over here, and I definitely do that a lot, where I'll get my charcoal chimney going, move my charcoal over to the side, cook indirect, and then do a reverse sear. So at the end of the cook, I'll spread all the coals out and then put the steak directly over, to get that really good sear at the end. I've been watching people actually, do sears on an actual cast iron skillet. So I don't know, I should try that at some time. But anyway, here's my quite experienced charcoal chimney. And for over a year now, I think I've been using this Hasty Bake fire starter. So this is a gel, and one of the things I've heard people say, and I think it's totally true, is that if you use lighter fluid, you actually end up tasting the lighter fluid. So that's not great. So what I do with my charcoal chimney, I usually am able to shut off my my coals and save some of them to reuse. So I fill it about 3/4 of the way with new charcoal. I just use Kingsford, nothing fancy. Actually, Costco has an amazing price on like a double bag. It's like 13 bucks or something. And anyway, that was the last thing that I got. I just make a little foil boat out of some aluminum foil. Maybe there's a fancy way to do that. And then I just go ahead and put in, I don't know, maybe a couple silver dollars worth. I'm not sure exactly how to say. I'm measuring this of the fire gel, fire starter. Okay. And I can get this at Champion's Barbecue here. It's an awesome barbecue place in Oklahoma City on Memorial and Penn. It actually started in Amarillo, Texas. All right, so we just leave that in, and then gonna put the charcoal chimney over there. So that's it. And this thing will take about 15 or 20 minutes or so to get everything nice and hot. I'm going to be monitoring my temp. So we started off at about 45 degrees internal temperature over there. We're up to 53 on the steak now. Timing wise, I want to go at least about 45 minutes for my Brussels sprouts to be really sauteed and smoked well. So I'm going to, I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna let this go for about 20 minutes or so, but I may leave it in longer because I'm really only gonna sear at the end with this. So anyway, here we go. I'll do a time lapse of this. All right, so we got a couple things to do here. I have been monitoring my temperature on my iPad, and steak is at 135. So I'm wanting to take it off when it's at about 140, which is medium rare. I'm gonna go for medium. Charcoal is looking good here, so I'm gonna dump the charcoal. Actually, I need to go ahead and stir. I probably should have done this maybe a little bit earlier, but I need to stir my Brussels sprouts over there. So let's do this. We're gonna put our charcoal in here. And most of the times I've actually done a double reverse sear, I actually have just done everything on the charcoal. This is a little bit different for me to do it this way, but hey, it's all right. All right, so what we're doing here, mussels are looking great. Probably could have put these on a little bit earlier. I think they'll be okay. Our internal temp's about 138 now, so I guess I'll go ahead and put this over on my charcoal. Go ahead and brush it off. I love my Weber Kettle. This is the only grill that I had for like 20 years, so it's only like in the last year that I got the RecTeq. Oh, I love it though. We cook on it like multiple times a week. So, okay, so we're at 140 over there. So, here we go. All right, well, full disclosure, I had a little trouble getting my probe off there, so it's going to be a little bit more than the other. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cover these up. We're going to do these a couple minutes. And I'm going to flip these. All right, that's probably been on about a minute and a half. Flip. Woo, look at that. That's what you call a good looking sear. Oh, that looks good. All right, I gotta go get my serving pan. All right, so we've been on a minute and a half just about on the first side, about a minute on the other. I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna let this rest for just a little bit to let those juices kind of really prepare. I don't know what it's called when you're resting your meat, but it's always a good idea to do that for a steak for a little bit. All right, look at this. Oh my word, that's looking pretty good. That looks like a perfect steak. All right, and then I'll go ahead and shut this down. I was at 140 when I was on the RecTeq, so that was medium rare, and so this should be just perfect. Let me go ahead and take this in. All right, so third item here is this little garden salad, and I like to use spring mix. And so what I've done is just taken some sweet peppers, cut off the tops, taken out the middle seeds, and then sprinkled those. And then I love these Wild Wonders tomatoes. So cherry tomatoes are good as well, but these are just fantastic. And so I'm just putting a few of these, cutting them in half pretty much. The larger ones I'm cutting in a quarter. I love this knife, by the way. This is my my boning knife from Sur de la Table. It's not a very expensive one, actually. What is it? I don't know. It doesn't say what it is, but it's not very expensive. Okay, so then to the salad, we're just going to add a little everything bagel seasoning, and absolutely love this. This isn't heavy on the salt, but really adds great flavor. And then for the dressing, we've been having this Bolthouse Farms Cucumber Ranch, and so this is, you need to refrigerate this. Well, maybe you do with all ranches, I guess, but anyway, you can get this at Walmart, you can get this at Sprouts, and this is good on the diet side of things. So anyway, I'm gonna get my serving utensils, and I'm gonna let my steak rest and call everybody, and we're gonna come to the table. All right, so last item here gonna be the Brussels sprouts. They look good. They could have cooked longer, but hey, we're gonna eat. So shut that down. Bring this in on the table. This is gonna be the last part of the meal. Lucy, what do you think? Is it smelling good? Yes, it's smelling good. What do you think, Rosie? They say we want a piece. We're shooting? All right, here we go. Go ahead and cut this open because you have to taste for the video. So that we were at 140 when we took it off. So yeah, that's looking medium. We'll give that one to Mom. And let's go ahead and cut this. A little bit of pink. Oh my. It is delicious.